In fact, if you go to the watch list, you'll see there's 85 new stocks on the bull list today and only 7 on the bear list today. This is exactly what we want to see. We want to see loading, unloading, and loading of stocks on the bull list. That means more and more stocks are becoming available to buy, more and more stocks having that momentum behind them, more and more stocks pushing the market up. I do want to jump into everything, so let's jump right into our market analysis. Clicky buttons, clicky buttons. Here we go. Welcome to the Outlier Trading Room. This is smart trading made simple. Save time, make money, start winning with less risk. Now that is what I like to call profit hacking. Now everything you're going to want to know is inside the playbook. You can get a free copy of the playbook over at profithackingplaybook.com or inside our VIP Investors Toolkit in the Discord. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Christopher Yule. I've twice been awarded top 100 people in finance. I've been successfully trading since 2009. And I'm a partner with Outlier. And this is my style of trading using Outlier data. And I call it the golden ticket trading strategy. It's the 8 steps to turn profit hacking into pure gold. Hey, Tug, glad you're here. Okay, so Tug goes as business development videos. Tug, double check real quick that you're subscribed. And everybody else, I'd hate for you to miss out when we go live. Put the news talk on the back end of trading time. It's available. I had thought about that because I could talk about this stuff all day. I know Brian likes to talk about it too. So yeah, let's make sure you're subscribed and let's go to the next step here. The golden ticket trading strategy. It has the master key to unlock it. With the SPY signal, the market breadth, and the sector breadth. This morning, I kid you not, when I was checking my emails, which I eventually did get around to checking my emails, I had an alert on the SPY came through and I was like, no, don't tell me we got a sell signal. Do not tell me we got a sell signal. I just started trading. Do not tell me we got a sell signal. We didn't get a sell signal. It wasn't that. It was the green overlay came on as of today's candle. So I was very pleased to see that and not very upset with a sell signal coming through. So we do have a buy signal on the SPY on the S&P 500. Now the market breadth. Let's go over to that. Market breadth is gaining steam and gaining steam fast. Look at this. In fact, if you go to the watch list, you'll see there's 85 new stocks on the bull list today and only 7 on the bear list today. This is exactly what we want to see. We want to see loading, unloading, and loading of stocks on the bull list. That means more and more stocks are becoming available to buy, more and more stocks having that momentum behind them, more and more stocks pushing the market up, right? It's not, we want market breadth going up. It's not just a checkbox. What does that mean? It means more stocks getting buy signals, having buyers come through, pushing the market up. That's the reason we do that. Okay. So 85 new on the bull list today. And I tell you what, that sounds like a lot of work to go through the bull list like that. It sounds like a hell of a lot of work, but that's okay because we got the new scanner. We got the new scanner here. And we're going to be using that here in just a minute. And then the sector breadth. I went through and I updated the sector breadths. In fact, I have this right here. Almost everything is bullish at this point, except for real estate and utilities. So all the sector breadths are showing bullish, except for real estate and utilities. So I'm not going to do that on the live streams because it does take 3 or 4 minutes just clicking through, waiting for it to load, all that stuff. Much easier for me to just do it ahead of time because I do this anyway. So with that out of the way, all of this is looking awesome. Let's go to the next step. Now let the market tell you where it's going. We do that with the 10-period moving average over the 20-period, price over the 50. Now, just a couple days ago, we had the crossover on the SPY right here, the 10 over the 20, price over the 50. That is a legitimate 100% mathematically proven bullish trend right there. That doesn't mean it's going to last forever, but that means that the trend is now trending upward. Okay, keep that in mind. Next, so we know this is bullish. We know the market breadth is bullish. And before we add any new trades, the first thing we have to do is reduce risk. So we put on 2 trades yesterday, one in Walmart and one in Halo. Now, these are my exit criteria. It's quite a lot, but we're going to go through them step by step so you don't have to stress. And this will answer Dave's question. So Dave asked about the half ATR. So the ATRs came from the Turtle Traders. If you're not familiar with them, I would highly recommend picking up the book called The Complete Turtle Trader. There are a handful of books that I recommend everyone must read as a trader. The Complete Turtle Trader is one of those. If you read it, you'll see a lot of what they talk about is how I trade as well. And the half ATR, and ATR is the average true range. So you can set that over X number of periods, minus 14. Yours could be 17. It could be 370. It doesn't really matter. You're just trying to get the average true range over a certain amount of time. Now, for this stock right here, I get out of the way. For Walmart, the average true range, as you can see down in this corner right here, as of today is 134.8. So basically $1.35. That means each candle has an average true range of $1.35 over the last 14 candles there. And it's not just the candle, but it's the move. So like this gap up here is included in that. And you can see how it went from $1.13 up to $1.45 because of that big gap up right there. So whenever a stock is making a new range, right, a new average range, that means it's really setting a new baseline. Okay. And if it's moved up and then it moves down half of that amount, if it moves down half of the average range, that's a sell signal. That's a get out of the way. It's not looking so good. And granted, I need you to understand that even though you get out of a trade, there is 100% possibility that it will turn around and go. Okay. That has happened to me 100,000 times. It's going to happen to you 100,000 times if you continue to trade. So, don't take it emotional. Just take it as, hey, I set a buy point here. The range is not working out. It looks like it's going back into the old range. I need to get out. Now, on the flip side of that is what we have above, which are the +1 ATR and +2 ATR. So the half ATR is my very hard exit point. Now, I don't do it midday. I only do it at the end of the day if it's closing below there. So +1 ATR, +2 ATR is kind of the opposite, right? That means, hey, the stock is setting a new range. Hey, the stock is setting another new range. That's what you want to see, right? So we established this is our starting point. And if it's moving down half a range, I don't know about that. But if it's moving up half a range, that's great. In fact, when it moves up this range, that's where I roll options. Now, we won't be doing that today, but in a nutshell, at each profitable ATR, so that means each time it moves up from here to here to here to here, right? Now the ATR, like I said, is this $1.35 value. It's $1.37 yesterday from the entry point. At each move up, can you roll your option up for a credit? If so, as one order, this is important. We're just rolling it up. We're not changing anything other than moving it from one strike to the next, closer to the money. And it's same number of contracts, right? And when you do that, you're going to take partial profits off the table right now. So let's say you're up $1,000. Maybe you can take 300 of that and put it in your pocket today. Really cool. I love that, right? And then it frees up capital. Okay. So now you have more capital to trade with than you had before. And it keeps the trade alive. You cannot do this with stocks. Okay. It's like taking half of your, or maybe not half, maybe a third of your position off in stock, yet keeping pretty much the same trade on. Can't do it. So that's one of the really cool things to do with options. And so, like I say, at each profitable ATR, that's where I start rolling. We won't be doing any of that today. We're not up to that point yet, but it has happened and it will happen. So just math, just how it's going to work out. So let's go through our exit signals here on each one of these that we have on right now. So for all trades, is the 10 EMA broken? No, the 10 EMA is down here. Is a half ATR from entry broken? No, half ATR is clear. Is it running into any order blocks? Nope, all looks good up there. Is the outlier heat map stalled? Let's go take a look at that. So Walmart, I'm gonna zoom in. And yesterday's heat map value, which you can see up in this area, was G13. Today's heat map value, it is at G16. So no issues there. Going to the next step. And is it below the prior day's low in this case when it's profitable? And it's not there yet. It's not below yesterday's low. So I don't have a reason to take it off except for selling into strength.
I don't know that.
Sorry, my Alexa just heard me. I don't know why. She's listening to everything that I say. I have to speak more quietly. Jeff Bezos is listening. When I go long, any exit criteria would fall in up here for selling into strength. So I got in at G13, right? Isn't that what I said? Yes, G13. So if it's any G value from G to 0 to 25, I would give it a 10-point spread. So G23 would be where I'd exit, which is why I wrote that on the chart here so I don't forget. So under strength at G23. Walmart's good to go. Let's go to Halo. So Halo, like I said earlier, I don't take these as exit points midday. So that's why I didn't take it. And I won't take it. Only if it closes below that point do I take that as an exit signal under the half ATR. So let's go through this again. 10 EMA is not broken. Half ATR is not broken. And 10 EMA is down here. Any order blocks in our way? Nope, that looks good. Outlier heat map. Halo. Yesterday, the heat map was at G8. Today, it is at G10. So I would also give that a 10-point spread, which is why I wrote on the chart sun to strength at G18. So I didn't get to cover this with you guys yesterday because I had to cut it short. But this is really important, right? You have a plan to get into trades. You have a plan to get into trades. But do you actually have a plan to get out of a trade? I do. And I hope you do too. Dave says, answered his question on ATR. You're welcome. Dave, highly, highly, highly recommend picking up the Complete Turtle Trader. You will not regret it. It's very well written. And it's absolutely worth every single penny that you'll pay for it. And much, much more. Okay, so let's go to the next step. Now we're going to run the scanner on the stocks and ETFs with a positive backtest, 1 million average volume, buy signal, oscillator moving up, all market caps greater than $20, heat map, R0 to 50 and G0 to 40 with an uptrend overlay. So there we go. Well, look who showed up today. He is subscribed. Good to see you, Michael. Leo says it's a good book. Yes, add it to your list. It's a good one on Audible too. Okay. So we're going to run the scanner. So I'm going to close a couple windows up here. Here. So this is a scanner. Like I said earlier, there are 85 stocks on the bull list today. That's far too many to go through. I am subscribed. I know, I'm just playing around. So there's 85 stocks to go through today. Ain't nobody got time to go through 85 stocks. That's what scanners are for. So we're going to take this list here. I've already done this, but we're going to do it together. And I'm going to paste it here. All right. So of the 85, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that fit my criteria. And that's okay. Don't plan on taking every stock ever. I'm going to roll over the ETFs. And there are 2 new ones today on the ETFs, SPY V and XLF. And like I say, those are already on my list right here. And now I only look at the State Street Global Advisors. So the ones that you're familiar with, like XLV, XLK, these guys up here. Those are the ones that I'm looking at. So I don't look at every ETF, just those. So I take this list. I'm going to filter for bullish because it's just verifying that the sector is bullish. This is a neat spreadsheet that I built. I'll share this with you guys at some point after I've vetted it. I mean, I've only been using it literally 2 days at this point, so I need more time to make sure everything's good and working. We're going to copy this list over to TrendSpider or whatever charting platform you use. It really doesn't matter. All right, so there's our list right there. And I'm going to run it through a quick chart scanner. Now, this chart scanner is going to do a handful of things. It's going to make sure there's no order blocks in our way. There's no earnings in the next 3 days. The 10, 20, 50 of the stock trend is moving in the direction we want to see, and it's above the prior day's low. And so when I do that, only these guys pass. So that's, I'm refreshing it here. Hopefully it won't take long. Here we go. AXP, American Express, Box, which does have an order block up here, but it's about 2% away. And it does have earnings. So those are 2 things we'd need to be aware of. Okay. Not to say that we can't do it on this one because it does have some room, but just to be aware of it. CIEN, Sienna Corp. FI. This one I looked at earlier and it was really close to below yesterday's low, but it looks okay right now. SPY V. And then XLF. So all of those pass my scanners. So the next spot the next point is to start with the highest back test and work our way down. Okay. So yesterday, this was kind of clunky. Let me see if I can be just as clunky today. And we're going to delete the ones we're not looking at and only keep the ones we are looking at. So AXP, so Adobe is off. Got AXP, box, scene, FI, not Intuit, not JCI. KKR is off. Run is off. SpyV and XLF. Okay, so those are the leftovers. Start with the highest back test. So we've got SpyV actually is the highest back test. From the heat map's not already stalled, so let's go to SpyV. Oh, I forgot to log in Tastybricks. Give me a second here. All right, so SpyV loading up right now. We're making sure that it is not already at a stall on the heat map. So yesterday was G6, today is G7. So that's okay. Next, we're going to go and look at the options chain. So in a quick nutshell, 21 days expiration or greater, 250 plus open interest, less than 50-cent bid-ask spread, 20% or less extrinsic value, and roughly 80 delta. So let's go to SpyV. So looking at this, around the 80 delta right there, gets me 5 open interest, 50 cents. I mean, the only one I would even be even closer interested in would be this one here, the 51, but that's at 53 delta. And the extrinsic value at 78 cents is 78% of the option price. So no, I will not be trading SpyV. Let's go to the next one. I believe that makes XLF next. XLF should be very liquid. Let's go take a look at the heat map real quick. Give it just a second to load. The indexes, the sector, they do take a minute longer to load because it does have additional data. All right, so yesterday was G5, today is G7. So that looks good there. XLF should be super liquid. Oh yeah, look at that. 102,000, 35,000. We're not going to have a problem with liquidity here. Now, as I mentioned yesterday, when you see these where there's tons of liquidity and then like zeros in between, that just means that those are new strikes and people haven't got to them yet. But that doesn't scare me away from liquidity on those. So I might even take one of those still. So XLF definitely looks like it's got liquidity here. Let's go to the 80 delta. So like the 41 looks pretty good. It's got 32,000 open interest. Extrinsic value of 37 cents on 325 is roughly 10%. We can all do that math. So that one looks great to me. I'm very interested. In fact, I think I will. XLF. Okay. XLF, September 20th, 41 calls. XLF, September 20th, 41 calls. Do you want to make sure you get your position size? Let's take a conversation about that real quick. This scanner that I built for you is called the OVTLYR Power Scanner. You can get it inside of the VIP Investors Toolkit. Let me get out of the way. Down here. Scroll up to OVTLYR Power Scanner, and it's this right here. Just type it in, XLF. and then put in your details over here, okay? Whatever your account balance is, the risk you're comfortable with, and the approximate option delta. And then it'll tell you, hey, if you had a $400,000 account, you could be looking at 174 options. Or a $40,000 account, you'd be looking at 17 options, right? Whatever your data is, be sure to put it in there. And this normalizes based on ATR. So to Dave, that question earlier, it normalizes based on ATR because really exciting stocks like Tesla have a big ATR, where other really boring stocks like Coke or Walmart have a very small ATR. In fact, let's look at that real quick. You're going to see Walmart's ATR, $1.55 when this was calculated, versus Halo at 215, right? Walmart's a bigger stock, yet Halo is a smaller stock with a larger ATR, meaning that the average moves there are much bigger in Halo. So you would actually have a smaller size. Do you see that? So even though it's a smaller stock, you still have a smaller size because of the ATR normalization. Now you can do it math old school way, but it's much easier to put it into that scanner, right? So you take your account balance multiplied by the risk that you want to take, and you divide it by 2 times the ATR, and that gets you the approximate number of shares. And then you divide that by 80 for the 80 option delta, basically, which is to get you that number of option contracts. Much easier to just type in the stock name and then let it do the calculation for you. David says BCS, which was on the list this morning, looks like they are diluting at the moment. Just dropped a new filing 5 minutes ago. That happens, my friend. We can't predict what things like that are going to happen, right? In fact, let's go to BCS real quick, since Dave mentioned it. Not a whole lot's happening at the moment. Even on a 5-minute chart, it's pretty, I mean, it's only 2 cents off. But either way, let's get back to XLF. Get your position size. XLF, September 20th, 41 calls. Let me see where I can get filled. So mid price is 315. No, 317 right now. Let me start at 315. All right, not filled at 315. Let me try 317. All right, 317 I'll do. 317, I'm in on XLF. Let me update the Discord real quick. So for those of you who are new, I do this live on the fly. That way, if you're flying in an airplane, like one of our friends Yorn is, you'll still be able to see what we're doing here. That was the 41s, right? Yeah, the 41s for 317. Currently, XLF is trading at 43.82. Okay, cool. Moving on to the next one. So we're working our way down by returns. So we're done with XLF. So we've got a few more. Let's go to FI. And let's look at FI real quick. Make sure the back test. I'm not sorry. The back test, not the back test. The heat map. Make sure the heat map is installed. Yesterday it was G31. Today is G32. So when it's over that point, I just want to let you know that I keep it really tight. So I'd only give it a 5-point spread. Because the further it goes in the greed, the more likely it is to snap back. So we don't want it to snap back on us, right? That's why I'm only going to give it 5 points. Let's go back to FI on here. September 20th. Not a lot of liquidity. 77 delta looks all right. Got 500 open interest. 920 to 890. And a buck 59 on 920 is less than 20%. 157. 20 is 17%. So yeah, that fits. FI, September 20th, 160 calls. And let's see where we can get filled. It's 30 cents wide. So it's unlikely you're going to get filled anywhere down there. I'm going to try 910 to start. FI. FI 160 calls in September 20th. All right, working the order at 910. Be sure you get your position size. Okay. Filled, average fill price 907. I'll take that. 907. So it's the 160 calls for 907. Trading at, what's a FI at right now? 167.47. Cool. Let's go to the next one. AXP. All right, yesterday was G6. Today is G8. That's good there. Let's go to the option chain on AXP. I've traded at American Express a million times, so I know that's pretty liquid. Okay, but here's one of my personal rules. You can follow this. You don't have to follow this. This is my personal rule. I don't like to buy options when they're more than $10 a strike. So the 75 delta is at $15 a strike. So I'm not going to be trading AXP. The options are just too expensive for me. Let's go to the next one. Here. CIEN. G15 yesterday, G18 today. That looks good. Let's go to the options chain. Says it's got earnings coming up. When's earnings? Okay, we have earnings. It shows on the calendar here, September 4th. If you see earnings on a different date than September 4th, please let me know. We have run into that in the past. But there's not really that much liquidity here. 73 delta gets us 287. $1.50 over 590 is 25%. 20 cents wide, 25%. I mean, it still works. And you know what? If it runs up into earnings, that would be great too. So, okay, I can run with 25%. CIEN, September 20th, 50 calls. 570, 590 is what we see on the screen right here. CIEN, 20 cent spread. CIEN, 50 calls. An interest at 287. Yeah, that'll work. Get your position size. All right, I'm putting the order in at 5. I'll try at 580. I doubt I'll be filled at 580, but I'm gonna put it in at 580. No, it's not getting filled. Let's try 585. All right, putting in at 585. All right, filled. 585. There it goes right there too. 585, I'm in on CIEN. CIEN. $50 calls. 585. CIEN is currently at 54.34. Okay. Next one. We did FI. Last one. Box. G3 yesterday, G7 today on box. Okay. Now, I feel like box was the one that had a order block not too far above it. Well, honestly, the liquidity here is not all that awesome. Got in the 100s here. $0.77 on 210 is roughly 30%, so I wouldn't take that one. And then here, this is over $2 wide. That's 50 cents wide right now. Yes, box I won't trade. So that leaves us with these three today: XLF, FI, and CIEN. Now, let's go through and mark up our charts where we know where we're going to be out of these guys. Okay, so let's start with XLF. Add it to my main list. We got in at 43.82. Oh, wait a minute. Goran taught me this. Opening 43.82. Thank you very much. So half an ATR down. It's at 58. Let's call it 59 cents right now. So 0.59 divided by 2. Just let's call it 30 cents. So 30 cents below here, 43.52. Okay. And then we'll go 59 cents above that. So 43.82 plus .59. 44.41. And then again, it's right at $45. Okay. So that's the plan on XLF. Let's go real quick on the heat map one more time. And either a 10 or 5-point spread. I believe it was a 10-point spread. G7 currently. So we'd make it cylinder strength at G17. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. Let's go to the next one. FI. We got in at 167.47. Make sure it's on my main list. Yeah. 167.47. Oh, it's already making a lot of money. Right? 47? Yeah. Take it. Here, I just noticed I had a little breakout right there. So that's what that line was. 67.47. Then a half ATR down. Current ATR value, look down here. It's at 290. 9 divided by 2. So $1.45 minus 167.47. 66.02. And then we need to add 290. 67.47 plus 290. 170.37. No. It went 70.37. How'd that work? And then again, 73.27. That'll work right there. Okay, cool. And then FI. Keep mat value shows G32. So I'll only give it a 5-point spread on here. So G37. Cool. And let's go to the last one. CIEN. Got in at 54.34. Making a little money already on here too. 54.34. Okay. FATR down is what? So current ATR value is $1.62. 81 cents down. Which puts it where? 53.53. Okay. 1 ATR up. $1.62 up from 34 plus 62. 55.96. Okay. And a second ATR up. 57.58. Okay, that'll work. So we went through a lot today. Definitely don't have time to talk politics. Here's the deal. You've got to know where you're going to get in, and you got to know where you're going to get out. We spent a lot of time talking about where we're going to get in. We spent a lot of time talking about where we're going to get out. Okay. This is important. This is how you stay in the game. If you aren't planning your trades fully, completely from start to end, I'm going to get in for this reason. If X, Y, Z, A, B, C happens, I'm going to get in. And if A, B, C, D, or E happens, any of the ors, okay, so it's and to get in or to get out. Does that make sense? And to get in meaning I want to see this, this, and this happen. Or to get out meaning if this happens or this happens or this happens or that happens, that's when I'm going to get out. This is really important here, right? You want to get you want to act like a scared rat, right? You want to be confident in the trades that you put on, but also confident in the fact that if it's not working out, you're going to get out as fast as you humanly possibly can because you know that it can work against you. In fact, I found this the other day. I saved this a while ago. So I work directly with Mark Minervini, and this is something I saw on his Twitter one day, and I saved it. Yeah, right. If you're not doing well trading stocks, the grand majority of your problem is ego driven by fear. The problem is you, which means the solution is also you, but you have to accept the responsibility and banish blame. Okay. Then you become empowered by the ability to respond. So, quick on here, knowing you should sell the stock when it does this, right? So, the stock's doing its thing, it breaks out, it comes back in, whatever. You got to take your loss. But you don't because you're afraid that if you take your loss, that it's going to turn around and go on without you. But in reality, you get caught in this. I've been caught in this. You've been caught in this. But you don't have to do it in the future. You can change that trajectory. Okay. You don't have to do that again. You never, ever, ever. You never have to do that again. I don't think I can stress that enough. You are in complete control of this. You never have to have this happen again. As long as you know you're going to get out and where you're going to get out and why you're going to get out. You never have to have that happen again. Heat map value on CIEN. It's currently at G18. Did I not mark it here? Oh, I didn't. Thanks, Sebastian. I appreciate that. Sell into strength at G28. Where is that? Right? Yeah, 10-point spread on G18. At G28. That's going to do it. Randy says he's been caught in all of these. Yeah, absolutely. So I got to tell you all this one quick story and then I'll get out of here. I was at the gym earlier. And have you guys seen those videos where it's, a girl in the gym and then some random guy looks at her way for like 1/2 of a second and then, continues on doing his thing. And then she posted on the internet, like, look at this awful gym creep. Oh, and the whole internet like gangs up on him and all this stuff. I had a somewhat similar situation happen today, but because of women like that, um, something different happened. Okay. So I've seen, because I work out. I go to the gym all the time, and so I watch lots of gym videos too. So I see all this stuff, right? And it's not creepers that are causing most of this. It's girls seeking attention that are causing most of this. Well, this young lady, she was probably 20. I don't know, give or take. She was on the bench press, like the real bench press, right? Not on a machine. And I'm walking around doing my thing, and I see her, and the bar comes down on top of her, and she can't get it up. And I'm looking around like, where's the camera? No girl is over here doing bench press without a camera watching her these days. I'm looking around, and for half a second, I walk over like I'm gonna grab it. Then it gets the better of me, and I'm like, you know what? No, I can't. I can't let my kids think I'm some sort of perv or anything else because I walked over and helped this girl. So I mean, I just didn't help her. Part of me feels bad, but the other part of me is, you know what? That's I mean that's what you asked for. If you want to treat every man like a gym creep, then when something like this happens, don't expect anything different. So she ended up just rolling it off her body and sitting up and getting it off that way. But you know what? Like Brian's saying, just walk away. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad about it. My wife would have like chastised me to death, but I'm not having that. No way. So anyway, just something that happened in the gym today. So y'all have a fantastic afternoon. Thank you so much for coming to today's Outlier Trading Room. I hope that this is useful, right? This is the most people that we've had potentially ever since starting the Outlier Trading Room. So I'm super, super stoked that all of you are here. I do this every day at the same time. So I hope that you will come back. Brian says she'll learn to ask for a spotter next time. And then Mark, the man who's too smart for the room, says build a home gym. It's cheaper and better in the long run. But I'll tell you what, Mark, I have some equipment at my house. But the truth is that there is a mental game when it comes to working out at home, right? Because this has happened to me many, many times where I go into my workout area. I got a Peloton, I've got all these bands and whatnot. And I go in there and I start working out and I'm like, you know what? I need to go and do that real quick. And then I got to go and do that thing real quick. And then I can't focus. And then instead of getting a real workout in, I get like a half-ass workout in. I'm done like one fifth of the time that I would be otherwise. So I have found personally that I actually need to physically remove myself from this space into the gym space in order to get a workout in. That just seems to work better for me. And Tug, glad you made it, my friend Tug. He says it's fantastic. Cool. I'll see y'all right back here tomorrow. Have a good afternoon. Talk soon.